Pi Network update. Core team breaks silence on Pi coin and Binance listing. The Pi Network core team has finally spoken out, and what they just revealed could change everything. After weeks of uncertainty and wild speculation, Pi holders have been demanding answers. Will Binance ever list Pi? Is Pi Network truly on track for mass adoption? Or is there something bigger happening behind the scenes? Well, today, we're diving into the shocking new updates straight from the core team, the latest Pi Network price movement, and what this means for the future of Pi coin. But first, let's settle this debate. Do you think Pi will hit Binance soon? Drop your answers in the comments. And if you've missed any of my recent Pi Network updates, check out my previous videos. Links are in the description. Also, if you believe in Pi Network's future, comment Pi Network to the moon and rep your country below. Let's see where the real Pi believers are at. Before we dive in, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Your engagement helps us bring you the latest and most accurate Pi Network updates faster than anyone else. Quick disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Alright, let's get started. If you subscribe to my channel and always watch my videos, you will remember I told you this was going to happen. You remember, right? I said Pi was going to dip to 0 point something before bouncing back, and boom, it happened. If you've been following me, you should already know exactly where and when to buy this Pi coin, but guess what? Some people are still out here screaming, Pi is dead, Pi will never recover, Pi is a scam. And I'm just sitting here thinking, have you ever built a blockchain in your life? What makes you so sure about what's going to happen next? Let's be real, Pi just got listed on February 20th. It hasn't even been 2 months. Yet some people expect it to dethrone Bitcoin overnight. That's not how crypto works, and the Pi core team never promised that kind of fairy tale. But here's the fun part. The hype around Pi, the debates, the price fluctuations. All of this is what fuels the market. That's how the game works. Some folks expect a straight path to the top, but anyone who has been in crypto for even a second knows that every coin has its ups and downs. What matters is the overall direction, and right now, Pi is showing exactly what it needs to show. Movement. Now let's talk numbers. Just 24 hours ago, $24 million worth of Pi tokens were sold. That's 204 million Pi tokens moving hands in a single day. That's not panic selling. That's the market reacting. Some smart people saw the dip and jumped in. Me? I was waiting for it to hit 0.8, 0.9 before I loaded up. If you've been watching this channel, you knew the plan, and just as expected, it bounced back, fast. The moment people saw that low price, they rushed in, pushing it back up. That's how it always works. And oh, look at that! Pi is already back up to $1.09. That's why you don't panic. That's why you don't sell low. That's why you don't listen to naysayers who don't understand how the market moves. Pi dropped, buyers jumped in, and now it's climbing again. Simple, when it dipped to 0.8, some people saw doom. Others like me saw an opportunity. Who do you think is winning now? Let's check crypto bubbles real quick. In the last hour alone, Pi has jumped 15%. That's huge. If you know how to read the crypto bubbles chart, you'll see that Pi is making waves. It's one of the few coins in the green, and not just a little bit of green, it's taking up major space. That means impact. That means momentum. And while some coins are bleeding red, Pi is showing resilience. Now if we zoom out to a full-day chart, sure, Pi is down 4.2%, but that's nothing. These are normal market cycles. Nothing goes straight up and nothing stays down forever. Let's also talk about rankings. Pi has dropped to number 21 in market value, sitting at $7.4 billion. But let me tell you something funny. Dr. Altcoin pointed this out, and I couldn't help but laugh. He said, as Pi's price moves down towards 0.5, 0.6 from $3, I see a community desperately trying to fix personal finance with Pi. And that right there is the emotional roller coaster of trading. One moment, everyone is convinced Pi is going to the moon. The next moment, they panic because it's dipping. Newsflash. This is normal. On the flip side, the Pi core team is focused on fixing global finance. That's a huge vision, and it creates a time lag between what traders want, quick profits, and what the team is building, a sustainable network. But here's where things get tricky. There's a communication gap. The Pi team isn't talking enough. When Pi Day came and went without a Binance listing, people were disappointed. And instead of stepping in to clear the air, the team stayed silent. That silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty shakes trust. Now, let's get into the big question. Will Binance ever list Pi? Here's what you need to know. Binance launched a Vote to List campaign, letting users decide which token they wanted to see on the exchange. Pi dominated that poll with 86% of the votes. That should have guaranteed a listing, right? Wrong. Binance ignored it. Why? Because Pi doesn't run on the BNB smart chain. That's their requirement. If your project isn't on their blockchain, they're not interested. And guess what? Pi has its own blockchain. It doesn't need Binance. That's problem number one. Problem number two, Binance doesn't seem too eager to support Pi anyway. Even though the community overwhelmingly voted for Pi, Binance brushed it off, saying other factors would determine the final decision. Meanwhile, they're quick to list meme coins and projects that benefit them directly. Binance prioritizes its own interests, but transparency issues raise concerns. Users are asking, where is Pi's funding coming from? Who is backing it? 3 companies invested in Social Chain Inc., Pi Network's parent company, yet 2 don't list Pi in their portfolios. Why hide it? Then there's the sudden sell-off, hundreds of millions of Pi tokens dumped. Who holds that much? The creators. With 20 to 30% of all Pi, they can sell anytime, cash in big, and leave regular traders holding the bag. It's a classic move in crypto, and it's why transparency matters. Now, I'm not saying Pi is a scam. What I am saying is that we need to ask the right questions. We need clear answers. If the Pi team wants to build long-term trust, they need to communicate more openly about their funding, their plans, and their actions. Right now, the lack of information is creating speculation, and speculation leads to uncertainty. That's not good for any project. That's why I dig deep into these things. Crypto has basically turned me into an investigative journalist, and I'm happy to do the work. Because at the end of the day, I don't want any of us making blind investments. I don't want to see people pouring money into something without knowing what's really going on behind the scenes. So here's my advice. Stay informed. Do your own research. Don't just listen to hype, and don't let fear make your decisions for you. And if you want to get ahead in this game, you need knowledge. Keep digging, and keep bringing you the real story behind Pi and the crypto world. Stay sharp, stay patient, and let's keep winning together. Wow, that was a deep dive into the latest Pi Network updates. To quickly summarize, Pi is making moves, but the big question remains, will Binance ever list Pi? We've seen price fluctuations, massive market activity, and growing concerns over transparency, but one thing is clear, Pi is still in the game and its future is unfolding right before us. If you found this update valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Your engagement helps us keep bringing you the latest and most accurate Pi Network updates. Now let's hear from you. Do you think Binance will eventually list Pi, or is Pi strong enough to succeed without it? Drop your answers in the comments below. And if you have any contributions or questions, feel free to share them. We read every comment. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.